All right, hi guys. We're gonna go through these 4 exercises to help you feel better in your lower back. So starting with a cat-cow. This is not just a cat-cow, but we're gonna do a little bit of abdominal draw-in as well. So just make sure that you've got your arms solidly straight under your shoulders with your elbows locked and your palms and your fingertips spread. And then if it's comfortable, you've got your toes hooked here and your knees right under your hips. And then we're just going to draw up, and I want you to, as you draw up, pull your belly button up to your spine and also pull the sides of your abs in like there's a belt tightening around your waist. And then come down and try to get as much arch in your back as possible, tipping your head up and your tailbone up. And then repeat that about 5 times. So pull up. I'm gonna exhale here to try to draw in my abs. And then I'm going to inhale as I drop my belly and bring my head and tailbone up. Again. Nice strong exhale so that you're really pulling your ab muscles in, drawing your ab muscles in from the front and the sides. Inhale up, a few more. So I'm not just rounding my spine out, but I'm really trying to pull those abs in. You can really feel the contraction of your abs drawing up and in. One more. And so you're getting that tightening around your waist like a belt. That's your transverse abdominals. Okay, after that, after 5 or 6 of those, you're gonna flip over on your back and do some pelvic tilts. So this is gonna get a little more mobility in your spine, as well as start to stretch out your hip flexors, which come from your low back and go through your body up to the inner parts of your thighs. So you're gonna stamp your back down like you're squishing a bunch of ants, and then release. So tilt your hips forward. Get your pubic bone to go away from your belly button and toward your belly button. We can breathe through this as well. Exhaling as we do the contracting. Inhaling as we let it go, or as we tilt it forward. Exhale, stamp all the bugs. Inhale, release. And the heels are just comfortably close to your butt and a little bit wider than hips. See if you can contract all the way into even slightly tipping your tailbone up off the floor. Good. And then our third one, same position, is bridges. So now we're going to really try to activate our glute muscles. So for this one, you want to have your heels as close as you can comfortably get them. Not so much that it feels uncomfortable. I just undid that a little bit. But we're going to first hold that stamp, hold the squishing of the bugs, and then squeeze up. Make sure your neck is nice and long, so you're drawing your shoulders down away from your ears, and you're squeezing into your butt to do this lift. You might feel, if you're very tight in the front here, you might feel some stretch here, and if it's a little too much to come up into this, you can always stop and come to your side and give yourself a little bit of a quad stretch. If you're unable to grab your foot like this, get a towel or a rope or something that you can put around your foot, and then you can pull it up like that to give it a stretch. And then you can go to the other side, put something around this foot, pull it up to give it a stretch in the quad, and then come back down. Another issue you might notice if you're not used to this is that your hamstrings want to cramp. If your heels are too far away from your butt, that's going to be more hamstring and less butt, so try pulling the heels a little bit closer. Or if they still want to cramp, give them a stretch by putting that towel around your foot and giving some extension. So pretend I have a towel here, and then I'm just going to extend and pull that leg in. Bend, extend, pull that leg toward me. Right? So I can't quite reach this, but pretend my arms are my towel. I would extend, pull in, bend. Extend, pull in, bend. And do that with both legs. This is my tight side, so I'm not going to try to reach up that high. Extend, pull back, bend, and then go into your bridge from there. So just making sure you have that space along your neck, shoulders away from ears. We stamp the belly down, stamp the low back down, Push through the heels and squeeze the butt to lift up. And you can just do 8 to 10 repetitions of this. Make sure your neck stays long here and just hold up for a few seconds. So tighten your belly down, stamp the bugs, squeeze your butt and bring it back down. Again, stamp your back, squeeze your butt. Make sure you're pushing pressure into your heels each time you come up. That's going to help you use the back side of your body, including your glutes. And make sure you concentrate on using your glutes so that you know you're actually contracting those to get this push up, to get this extension in your spine and raising yourself up. Stamp your back. Press up. I'm doing somewhere in the ballpark of 8 to 10. I'm not really counting. Squeeze, hold. See if you can get those hips as high as possible by squeezing your butt even more. Just really drawing those two butt cheeks in toward each other and up. Lots of contraction. Lots of contraction in your glutes. Okay, I may have done more than my number now, but I'll do one more. All right, and then our final exercise is a windmill. So this has some variations. To do a full windmill is pretty hard, so I'm going to show you some ways to build up to this. So you can use the back of a couch or a countertop or anything, and just stand with your feet a little wider than hips and both your feet facing forward, so your feet are parallel to each other. You're going to reach forward, start to send your butt back, so you're making a hinge at the hips. You're going to grab whatever side you're trying to stretch out. You're going to grab that side. The other arm can hang down, or if it's comfortable, it can be up on the couch or counter or stair railing or anything that you can grab onto. And then I want you to kind of drop the side that you're not stretching. So I've got my left arm here being the stretched side. So I'm dropping my right side down and starting to turn my chest toward this left arm. At the same time, I'm letting my left hip fall back more. I'm trying to get really tall through that left side. So I don't want to hold too tight up in here. I want to let it go and let it stretch. This is going to be a lot of shoulder stretch as well. But what you're really trying to feel is this kind of side of the low back getting stretched out, right? And then I want you to kind of wiggle your hips. So this arm can be here, this can be here, it can hang here, whatever. But I'm going to just sort of tilt this hip away from the arm and back toward it. Away from the arm and back toward it. And you should feel that stretch kind of right over your kidney back here. That's your QL, or your quadratus lumborum. We just want to give that some mobility. Make it stretch, contract, stretch, contract. And then you can try the other side. So now I'm going to put this arm, I'm going to hang back here, and I'm going to start to let my right hip now pull back further. So I'm trying to create lots of length down my right side. And then I'm going to wiggle my hips, pull that right hip away, pull it in closer toward my armpit, pull it away from the armpit, closer, and just find some different spots. You could be up here a little bit more. I can still feel it down in the QL, even though I've raised my chest up, which makes it easier on the shoulder. Or if you can go deeper into that shoulder stretch, you can hang it down a little bit more. So that's an option, holding on to something. Or you can just do it standing, and you can basically bend the knee of the side you're trying to stretch, reach over and grab that, and then raise this other arm up and bring your chest and shoulder down. So you're going to get a little bit of inner thigh stretch here as well on this long leg, but you're also trying to stretch out right behind the kidney here on this top side. Right, and then I'm going to raise it back up, and you can try to keep that arm. I know my camera's too low and it's cutting off my arm, but you can keep that arm nice and high up here. Come down, grab, and then reach back up. Right, so let's try the other side. I would come down, my feet are still parallel, both facing forward. Come down, grab, raise this arm up, hinge forward. It's like I'm just dropping that bottom shoulder and chest toward the floor. Raise it back up, keeping that arm high, come in, grab, and hold. If that gets feeling pretty doable, you can try not holding your leg and not bending your knees and see if you can just hinge forward. So let me do this sideways. I'm going to send my butt back, send one arm straight down, one arm straight up. And just see if I can come down and touch. Keep stacked with your shoulders and raise back up. And you can switch it. Come down, make sure those feet are parallel, send my butt back. So I'm getting this hinge while I rotate. That's helping those quadratus lumborum muscles fire up and get more mobile and stronger and more flexible. If you feel your back pain a little bit more in one side than the other, or off to one side, this is the muscle you want to stretch and strengthen. So these last couple, the couch grab and this one, or the version where you hold onto your leg, which is a little easier, are the two to emphasize. But those other few ones are going to be helpful as well, and they're a great way to warm up for this one. I'll do one more on this side. So hinge, reach, and up. And you're definitely going to feel a little bit of hamstring stretch on that too. That's the hardest version of that. So if that feels like too much, don't do it that way. Just really start to stretch it out, grabbing a couch or a countertop or a stair railing. You could even grab over the top of a door and get a very similar thing. So pretend I'm holding a door top here, and then I would just kind of let my side stretch out, let my hip get low, my shoulder and my ribs go up high and stretch away from that hip, right? And then you get it on the other side. You'd hold the door here and then let that length happen right through here. And to get it to not be just the side, but a little bit more toward the back, you can kind of arch forward and let that hip hang back. You can kind of play around with the position and you'll feel it go into different spots. So try those out and see if doing it daily for a while starts to make your low back feel better.